Hello, how's it going? Hope everyone's okay. Nice to do one of these in the afternoon for a change, so I don't have to have 50 lights on. We got Todd. Todd says, hi there. How you doing, Todd? Hope you're good. Hope you're looking forward to this game. Should be a good game. Yesterday's one was pretty slow. Man United versus Chelsea, but since there's a cup on the line, you'd hope both teams kind of go for it. Bagwell says, looking forward to this. Me too. It should be a interesting game. I appreciate Man City are the favourites, but it's not every day that Crystal Palace gets to a final. So I'm sure most of the neutrals will be supporting. Is Crystal Palace East London? Yeah, it must be East London, right? We'll be supporting those from East London. Yeah, they're just kind of showing the crowd. It does look like there's a lot more Crystal Palace flags. Crystal Palace got Henderson, Richards, Lacroix, Gahey still plays for Crystal Palace, Munoz, our favourite Colombian right back, Wharton, Kamada, Mitchell, Sarr, Eze, and Mateta. So they got 3 at the back, kind of 6 in midfield if you wanna kind of put it that way. 1 up top. Man City have got Ortega in goal. Akanji, Diaz, Gvardiol, O'Reilly. And for some reason, they only showed the Man City lineup for about 2 seconds, but I can get the rest of it from here. Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, Savinho, Marmoush, Doku, and Haaland. Crystal Palace got a decent team, to be fair. Henderson's a decent keeper. I think Gahey's quite a good defender. Munoz, we've learned recently, is a very good right back. Adam Wharton, obviously, is perhaps the most obvious player that we need to watch out for, number 20. They got Sarr, Eze, Mateta. That looks pretty good, if I'm honest. So we'll see how they do. Anfield Road End says, hi, have you seen the Bradley news? I have seen the Bradley news. It's good news. So he signed a new contract, hasn't he? New 4-year deal, I think, until 2029. I appreciate Trent did the same thing, and then kind of pulled the fast one on us. But it is what it is. 4-year deal, you take it. I think he only had 2 years left or something like that. So a 4-year deal at this point. Looking pretty good. That should hopefully be the right side sorted then. You'd kind of hope. Conor Bradley, 4-year deal on the right. Frimpong, I've seen things about a 5-year deal, potentially a 6-year deal. So that should be the right side sorted for the medium term at the very least. I think De Bruyne is going to do something in this final. Yeah, definitely definitely a lot more Crystal Palace flags, that's for sure. good to see Mateta playing again after that unfortunate incident that he had. Mateta's a pretty good striker, you know. I wouldn't mind him at Liverpool, but kind of given our standard is Darwin Núñez and Jota, who looks permanently hungover. Mateta's looking pretty good. Durwood says hello. Hello, Durwood. How you doing? Hope you're good. Hope you're good on this Saturday morning for you, but Saturday afternoon for us. A Red Rebellion says, "Let's go Palace." Yeah, I think all the neutrals are kind of behind Crystal Palace here. And I was just looking at their squad. I mean, they've got a pretty decent squad, to be fair. Henderson's a decent goalkeeper. Gahey's a good defender. Munoz, as Pixel has taught us, is a pretty good right back, Colombian. Adam Wharton's the obvious one to look out for there. Sarr, Eze, Mateta. I mean, that's a pretty good squad. They're not lucky to get to the final. I think they perhaps deserve it. Les Lima said, it will be interesting to see if De Bruyne plays. Would you take him at Liverpool? It looks like he is playing and he is starting. And to go one step further, he is captaining. So that's pretty good to see. Let me see if I can get this timer right. There we go. And in answer to your second question, would you take him at Liverpool? This is the type of thing that I traditionally always say no to. I traditionally don't want kind of older players who are kind of past their best. Traditionally don't want players who are on who could be on a high wage. But I think De Bruyne is an exception, and I think the reasons for that is, number one, he's Premier League proven. He's one of the best midfielders we've ever had in the Premier League. Point number two, he's not too old at the moment, so I think that's another positive. Point number three, he would come in as a bit part player. I think it wouldn't be like a Thiago expected to start every single game and expected to run 500 miles every game. So he would kind of come in as a bit part player. Point number four, he seems quite humble. I mean, as humble as you can expect a star player to be. He doesn't seem to really have an ego. Point number five, or is it point number six? Apparently he's a Liverpool fan. Point number seven, I've heard he's willing to take a pay cut. Point number eight, apparently he's very good friends with Van Dijk. Apparently their families get on very well. So I think as the type of player who can perhaps come on in the last 20 minutes, last 25 minutes to unlock a defense, we could do a lot worse. You know, kind of 1 year deal for free. I'd say let's do it. Let's do it. Fish says, happy birthday to you. I appreciate that, Fish. Thank you very much. I mean, it's not my birthday today, but I do appreciate the best wishes that you've sent across. So thank you for that. Is this the real Fish? I thought the real Fish died yesterday and was murdered by Fishy Dharma. I'm hoping this is the original Fish, not the imposter Fish. Red Rebellion says KDB is a great player, but his legs are gone. Yeah, he's I think his legs are mostly gone. Like I wouldn't mind him as like a bench player to kind of come off the bench, kind of last 20 minutes kind of thing. Because I think if we're kind of desperately looking for a goal in the last 20 minutes, the team that we're desperately looking for a goal against is probably going to be very deep anyway. So I think for that particular use case, or for that particular kind of instance, it might work. It might work. I still kind of doubt it will happen. I'm probably fantasizing to a certain degree. Um, but yeah, in that interview that Salah did with Gary Neville, at the end of the interview, he said, "Hey, De Bruyne, we've got a space for you." I don't know if that was sarcasm or what, but it's something. It's something to kind of keep an eye on. Sunny says, Man City or Crystal Palace, who do you support? Yeah, I think most people are clearly supporting Crystal Palace in this one. All the neutrals will be supporting Crystal Palace. At least half of Manchester will be supporting Crystal Palace. So yeah, and it's not often that Crystal Palace reach a final, to be honest. So we want them to do well. Fish says, "Sir, can I go to the toilet?" No, because the match has already started. You need to go to the toilet beforehand. But if you really need to go, then I can't stop you. But you're a fish. We were talking about this yesterday. You're a fish, so you're the water mass / ocean / sea that you live in is a toilet. Surely, you know what I mean. Sunny says KDB is 33 years old. Are his legs gone? I think in comparison to how he was a few years ago, yes. I mean, in comparison to what his legs were like just perhaps 2 years ago, yes, I'd say that there's been a significant decline. The question is what is left still good enough to play a bit part role? You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind De Bruyne coming in, but as a bit part player that comes off the bench to unlock a defense who's very stubborn, I wouldn't want him starting games. I think his legs are definitely gone to start games, but last 15 minutes, last 20 minutes, I think he can add value. But maybe I'm being a bit romantic purely based on who he is. Uriah says Nunes linked with Saudi again. Yeah, I saw that. Apparently they are blind and want to pay 70 million. I mean, I presumed perhaps naively that the 70 million was a January premium. You know how sometimes they always say it's harder to... De Bruyne with a cross. Good cross for Haaland. I mean, there we saw De Bruyne's capability there. A good cross for Haaland, but good save by Henderson. But yeah, apparently they still want Nunes and they still want to pay 70 million. If that is truly the case, I saw some discourse about that today. If that is truly still the case, let's snap their hands off, but do it in a way that doesn't make us look too desperate. De Bruyne with a cross here. Let's see what he could do. Cleared. Fish says Vela or Trent. I mean, this is an interesting question that you've asked here, Fish. Given that Vela is a striker, the last I remember, and Trent is a defender. I mean, are you asking from a footballing capability or are you asking from a top 10 hottest players list capability? Because if I recall, on one of your lists, Carlos Vela was number 1. So I don't know. I don't know what context you're asking. But at this point, you could ask anyone or Trent, and I'll go with the other player. So in this case, I'm forced to go with Carlos Vela by default. Cross for Man City on the left side. It looks like that might be Savinho taking it. See again, a good pressing by De Bruyne. Wins the ball up high. I guess the question is how long can he keep up this pace? I appreciate we're only 8 minutes in. Fish asks, where's Brother and Botman? Whose brother? I feel like you mentioned this before, and I should know this, but I don't remember. If you're talking about Sven Botman, doesn't he play for Newcastle? Ooh, Mateta here. Mateta versus Akanji. Akanji passes it back. Sunny says, what is Saudi Arabia going with? Because after Ronaldo retires, who are they going to push their agenda? And Saudi be ever as big as League One? Will Saudi ever be as big as League One? Probably not, to be honest. I mean, it's yet to be seen whether this whole Saudi thing is a flash in the pan or whether it has any legs. It could be bigger than League One in the future, but it might be long after we're dead, kind of thing. But right now, no. And I'd also argue in the immediate future, also no. I mean, it also depends how do you quantify bigger, and I guess the other side of the coin is with the Saudi League not being with the Saudi League not being European, they don't have access to the Champions League, and that will hinder any aspirations they have of being a major promotion. So I'd say probably not bigger than the French league, to be honest. After Ronaldo retires, who are they going to push their agenda? I mean, they might go for Salah then. Maybe that's how it works. Maybe in 2 more years, Ronaldo retires. Or should I say Ronaldo is forced to retire because it looks like he doesn't want to. But yeah, maybe Salah becomes the face then. I don't know. Possibly. I mean, you'd need somebody like that. You'd need somebody like that with a big profile. I mean, Benzema's there, but he hasn't really had the same. He doesn't really have the same name recognition as Ronaldo. And I think after Salah, there isn't really anybody. So it could potentially be Salah. But yeah, apparently they still want Darwin Núñez for a ludicrous fee. And if they do still want Darwin Núñez for a ludicrous fee, we will happily take that ludicrous fee. Another corner for Man City. They're getting far too many corners for my liking. And I appreciate it's been an entire year, but I still despise that font that they're using for the numbers on the back of the shirts. It's horrible. Crossed in, header by Guardiola, but saved by Henderson. Cleared to Pep. Pep controls the ball with his right foot there. Pep showing that he still got it. Kanji to Diaz. O'Reilly. Diaz again. Savinho. Corner. I can't say I've been all that impressed or all that enthused about Savinho. So far, this game's been all Man City, but there's a long way to go. Cross then cleared. Gone out. Fish asks, when are we signing Darwin? Are you not a Liverpool fan, Fish? As far as I'm aware. Do you mean when are we selling Darwin? Hopefully this upcoming summer window. Hopefully soon as well. I think the manager's made his mind up with respect to who he does like and who he doesn't like. And it feels like Mr. Nunes falls into the second bracket. Ooh, headed over. Headed over by Akanji. Fish says, "I'm a Everton fan." Joke. Yeah, I'm glad you added the joke because I was going to be mortified for a second that you supported the blue team. Is Bernardo Silva, Guardiola, Akanji, poor first touch. Crystal Palace have just been, pushed back into their box for pretty much the entirety of this game so far. Sunny says, what if it's an Anthony situation? Darwin goes to PSG or Serie A and scores 30 goals and 20 assists. Then that would be good for him, I guess. Then it would have worked out nicely, I guess, because then Liverpool would have got a significant fee, and then Darwin would have kind of restarted his career. So I guess everybody would win in that situation. I mean, I doubt it would happen. He just doesn't seem to have the intelligence or a brain to kind of do that. But if it does happen, that's the ideal scenario in some ways. Here's Munoz. Crossed in and Eze scored. They've scored from their first attack. Pixel will be happy. I think that was a Munoz assist. That is hilarious. It's been all Man City. Crystal Palace have one counter attack and they score. Red Rebellion says yes, indeed. Yeah, Crystal Palace literally boot it up the field. Mateta with a bit of hold-up play. Mateta with a passes it wide to Munoz. Pixel might have been right about this Munoz fella, you know. Nice little assist. Nice volley as well. Ortega might need to do a bit better than that, if I'm honest. The ball was quite central. Red Rebellion says we want more. Yeah, let's see if we can get at the very least the second goal before half time. And then it will finish this weak team off. I changed the scorecard yet. That should be updated now. I was just watching the replay of the goal. But yeah, hopefully that's updated now. Listen to the spirit of the blues, says Fish. Spirit of the blues? Do the blues have a spirit? It is that is news to me. If the blues possess a spirit. Red Rebellion says, sorry, the game's ahead for me. That's alright. No problem. You must be watching it on actual TV. I'm watching it on the website, which is typically couple of seconds behind, but it's okay. Derwood says update the score. We like to see when the good guys score. Yeah, that should be updated now. Crystal Palace 1, Man City 0. Ooh, Wharton gets dispossessed there by Bernardo Silva. Sonny says Man City is also bluefish. They are, and so are Crystal Palace. That's bizarre. You don't see that too often. Like two teams wearing the same color. I appreciate Man City are more of a sky blue. Oh, here's Munoz again. Pixels recommendation. Oh my god, and they almost scored again there. They almost scored again there. Munoz putting in some nice crosses, man. He's Colombia's finest. Yeah, but it's weird that both teams are kind of wearing blue. Perhaps both were kind of adamant on wearing their home gear. Red Rebellion says, I'm like 20 seconds ahead. Oh, wow. BBC need to up their game for their online feed. That could have been 2 there. I think that was Saar, I think. Formerly of Watford. Apparently Sadio Mane's mate. Or so I've heard. Wharton with a pass forward, but it gets intercepted. Sonny says, where's the final happening? I presume this is Wembley, which is London. I presume so. Yeah, it's Wembley, yeah. Wembley's nice, but it's too big in some ways. You just feel you can feel like too far away from the action sometimes. De Bruyne back to Diaz, back to Guardiola. You wouldn't think this was the team of superstars. Fish says my favorite Polish team, Górnik Zabrze, is playing. Who are Górnik Zabrze playing against? Górnik Zabrze versus Piast Gliwice. Piast Gliwice are winning 1-0. But there's time. Górnik is one of the most successful Polish clubs in history. I've googled Zabrze. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Pretty nice looking city, to be fair. Looks pretty nice. Nice buildings, nice architecture. Good defending by Crystal Palace. Sonny says, there's one question I always wanted to ask. Why does the Premier League have 2 League Cups like FA Cup and Carabao, whilst other league have 1 Copa del Rey for Spain? That's a good question. I don't know. I guess FA Cup isn't just the League Cup. It's like all of England. I don't know if it's because England has more tiers of football, like England has multiple leagues, so they wanted to create a cup for all the leagues, for, if you know what I mean. That might be a nonsense answer. The correct answer is probably it makes them more money because it's more games. That's probably the correct answer. Yeah, but out of the 2, it's definitely the FA Cup is the bigger one, for sure. Fish says, no, what's happened? Have Gornik Zabzara gone behind? We can't have Gornik Zabzara going 2-0 down. Or is it Zabzare? I don't know. No, it's still 1-0. Mate, that's it. Try my league, the Fish Premier League. Well, the Fish Premier League is too high a standard. It's too high a standard for me to try. It's better than the Premier League and better than the Champions League. Liverpool linked with Xavi Simons now. It's happy hour. We're going to be linked with absolutely everybody. Liverpool have triggered the release clause of Jeremy Frimpong with a medical planned. Oh, here's Mateta. Come on, Mateta. Mateta's like a good striker, man. I've got like a wacky idea. Like in a elite team, he's getting a lot of goals. Apparently, the Frimpong deal is all but done by the looks of it, just pending a medical. I don't anticipate a guy who runs at 80 miles an hour would fail the medical. Sonny says, Fish, Premier League is just a farmer league with Sharks FC and Whale FC dominating. Yeah. I mean, could Dolphin FC make a comeback? You never know. Mermaid FC. These are all the things Fish has to worry about. Fish says, East Ham, I'm forever shooting bubbles, and I'm forever trying to decode what the hell you're on about. But I appreciate it nonetheless. But I have learned, you have taught me something today. You have taught me about Gornik Zabzara. So I'll be following them from now on. Ooh, we've got Ryan here. Says, hello. How are you doing, Ryan? Hope you're good. Hope you're happy to see scummy Man City are 1-0 down. Good, how are you? Yeah, not too bad. Pretty tired. Kind of desperately need a coffee, but it's only 20 minutes in. You know what I mean? It's one of those. But yeah, all good. Can't complain. Here's Ruben Diaz. Housen to Madrid is done by the looks of it. If Man City are just going to continue to pass the ball around their defense, I'm going to read transfer news out. It's like, go on, Man City, do something positive. So Housen's done for Real Madrid. The KONATE situation is a bit uneasy given he's only got a year left and he doesn't seem to be signing a new deal. I love KONATE, but like if he ain't signing a new deal, let's just sell and move on. I don't know if that's controversial. There's a new mural going up for Van Dijk. Looking pretty good. Fish FC versus West Ham. Guess the West Ham 11. Ooh, Noel Gallagher's in the crowd shaking his head. Yeah, you shake your head more, Noel. What's your obsession with West Ham? Because you always mention West Ham. Didn't you have a question for me the other day? Name 5 West Ham players that are not English. See, I remember this stuff. I remember the crazy stuff you come out with. What's the obsession with West Ham? Or the fascination? Ryan says, I love KONATE, but if he goes, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I'm in the same bucket as you are, to be fair. He's a good defender. Technically very good, physically amazing. The guy is rapid and the guy is strong as an ox, but like if he's playing the long ball with contracts and doesn't want to sign, I'd rather we just kind of sold him this summer and moved on. Like, we can't have a situation where players continue to hold the club for ransom. Like, I like the fact that it's like a welcoming club and everyone gets on and everyone kind of loves each other. But like, if they continue to take the mick with contracts and be like, oh, I'm not going to sign. Maybe I will sign. Maybe I won't sign. If they're gonna continue to do that nonsense, we need to cut that out. And it's like, look, mate, you got a year left. Here's the best we can give you. Either sign it or we're selling you tomorrow. It's like we are like getting too many grey hairs to put up with another transfer saga next year. Maybe I will. Maybe you just need to offer me enough money. It's like, mate, 200 grand a week, 5-year contract. We're tripling your wages because you're on 70 grand. So we're tripling your wages to 200, giving you a long deal. Sign it or don't sign it, but don't put us through another contract saga. Ryan says, but Liverpool, we can't keep players if they want to go on a free. Have to get rid of them. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And like, why does Liverpool only seem to have a problem with this? Other teams are able to sell players like fairly easily, if you know what I mean. Like, WIRTZ has 2 years left on his deal. There doesn't seem to be any problem with selling him. I think FRIMPONG also had 2 years left. I appreciate he had a release clause. But I think the limit needs to be when you've got a year left. Then we need to take action. Because if you start waiting till January, then January the 1st, they can officially talk to other clubs, even though they unofficially are doing it right now anyway. But I just can't be asked to just put up with this again. I mean, I don't know if the club is lowballing them, but like, on the assumption that they're not, let's just sort it out this summer. Fish says Fish FC is the Europa League. Okay, so then what is the Champions League? Is that Whale FC or is that, or is that Dolphin FC? Red Rebellion says, I'm loving the match. City are being frustrated. They are being frustrated. They had this incessant need just to pass it around the defense, which is why I started looking at transfer news instead. Come on, have they never won a trophy before? Like, never won like a a trophy before. That is a surprise. Haaland stand. I don't know if this is a penalty though. That font that Man City are using on the back is horrible. What designer approved that? That's a poor tackle by Mitchell, but I think Bernardo was kind of looking for it. So I think that might be a penalty, unfortunately. But a penalty is not a guaranteed goal. Ryan says, should be secretly looking into players. Shouldn't even be having a year left on the contract and no talks about staying or leaving. Yeah, that's kind of how I see it as well. Like, in some ways, like, if a player has a year left on the contract, then it's already too late because they already have 90% of the power, and all they need to do is wait for a few months, and then they have 100% of the power. It's almost like, and again, I appreciate this management structure wasn't here. It wasn't here when these things were done, but like, yeah, 1 year left is kind of too late as well. I'd like to see some definitive action be taken on the KONATE situation. Marmoush is stepping up for a penalty. Red Rebellion hasn't said that it's been missed, so I'm predicting this is going to go in because he's 20 seconds ahead. I'm not seeing a saved from Red Rebellion or Durwood, who tends to be ahead as well most of the time. So I'm predicting this is going to go in, so I'm going to update the score right now before he's even taken it. Oh my god, he saved it! What the frick is going on? I've updated the damn score. Oh my god, what is going on? I'm updating the score. I thought I was being clever. I will not do the lottery today. I thought I was being smart. I said, look, Red Rebellion is 20 seconds ahead, and I haven't seen any celebrations about missing. So it's probably gone in. And all that just to see him miss. Nice, a nice save. And as I was saying, typically Durwood's stream is also ahead a bit. So I said, I'm not seeing any celebration, so I presume he scored. But I'd happily wrong there. Fish FC starting 11. Defender you. So I'm in defense. Kilman, Emerson, Tadibo. That's a nice little defense there. Am I centre back in your team, or am I full back? Mid Paqueta Soler. You're forward also. And then me and you are also playing in attack, and managers Graham Park. What is the West Ham? Like, is it because of Souček or something? But I like how we've progressed from top 10 hottest players list to starting 11s. Durwood says the maker of the kit created the numbers when it was bring your kid to work day. It's horrible. It's a horrible font. Like, what would ever possess them to? And it's not just the font for the name, it's the numbers as well. It just looks disgusting. I'm glad you agree that it looks a bit childish and a bit, I don't know if unprofessional is the word I'd use, but yeah, like a child, like you know, the first time a child uses a computer and they write their homework for the first time ever, and then that's the font that they pick. It's horrible looking font. It's Doku dancing. Red Rebellion says he missed. Yeah. I'm glad he missed. I can't lie. I'm surprised Marmoush took it. I thought Haaland would be taking the penalty. But yeah, super. That might be the nail in the mental coffin to a certain degree. From a Because I think to win a football match, you've got to be physically strong, but also mentally strong. And I think to miss a penalty, having a penalty and missing it in some ways is worse than not having a penalty at all, I think. Dawood says, I don't want to say anything. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I think I was just trying to be too smart. I was trying to be clever. Red Rebellion says it should not have been a penalty anyway. Touch the ball first. Okay, interesting. I'll need to see it back. I thought it was a penalty, but equally I did think that Bernardo Silva kind of was looking for it. Oh, they're replaying it now. Yeah, with those, like sometimes you see them given, sometimes you see them don't. You see them not given. The penalty was poor. They're just replaying the actual penalty. It's at the right height. It's like, as I'm sure you guys have seen, it's that kind of middle type of height. So if the keeper dives the right way, he's getting that quite easily. Delwood says we need 2 top 10s yesterday. Since Fish died yesterday, we didn't get one. Yes, Fish was having a traumatic time yesterday where he jumped out of a plane, and then the second Fish hacked his YouTube account to post a few messages, and then the mother of Fish was also on his YouTube account towards the end. It's but I agree. We need at least 2 top 10 lists. We've already had the starting 11, so I'll give you that as 1 top 11. But yeah, how about top 10 hottest Man City players or Crystal Palace players? Since that's the top. Oh, Palace. Ooh, I thought they were gonna get through there. People are saying not all Egyptians can score a penalty in the final. obviously referring to Salah's penalty in the Champions League final. Frimpong set to join Liverpool. Agreement done for the release clause. I mean, I didn't know a release clause required agreement per se, but there's probably a certain amount of legal process that's involved with lawyers and so forth to sort out the release clause. 29.5 million. That is nothing in today's market. Red Rebellion says Palace tactics are spot on right now. They are. They're defending quite deep, quite compact as well. Like all the defenders have a high-ish line, I guess. But the gap between the defenders and Wharton and the strikers is quite small. So it is pretty compact. Yeah, I think they're just trying to keep it compact, and then try and smash them on the counter again. Oh, De Bruyne hits it over. Okay, that's not the kind of De Bruyne I want. We might have to concede that Red Rebellion was correct about not wanting De Bruyne. Because I was like, look, he's great with the ball and you just miss from 2 yards. Sort it out, Kevin. Ryan says, probably just legal contract BS. Yeah. It's probably... they have to kind of get their lawyers, I presume, to pay the release clause. Probably solicitors, I don't know. Pay the release clause and then do all the finances. Yeah, it's probably just a case of that. 29 million for a right back / right midfielder is so worth it. It is so worth it. Like, especially in today's market. I'd argue like 29 million for a player is actually quite cheap in today's market. Never mind a player who's a full international, who can play multiple positions, who has won trophies, who's homegrown. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Kanji just throws over Mateta and it's like, mate, can you not see what Mateta's got on his head? Come on, Akanji. You just assaulted an injured man. I mean, have some shame. Now Mateta, with his head brace, is lying on the floor. Have some shame, Manuel. Mateta is literally there with like a supportive brace on his head, and you're shoving him to the ground. That's just not a very nice thing to do. Henderson is Superman at the moment. He is. I'm always surprised Man United got rid of him. I felt like he had potential to kind of be a starter for them. And he's definitely better than what they've got right now in Onana, who's pants, and Bayendia, who's also pants. No doubt they'll buy another goalkeeper in the summer who'll also turn out to be pants. Crystal Palace players going down every 5 seconds now, and we love it. It's like keep on going down. We got Defts. How you doing? Hope you're good. Saying, here we go, get in there. Yeah, I love how everyone's a Crystal Palace fan today. Everyone is from East Croydon today, because I think that's where Crystal Palace are based. But yeah. Yeah, all the neutrals and at the very least half of Manchester are supporting Palace. I'm hoping, in some ways, that first half couldn't have gone any better. If you think about it, because Crystal Palace have been very resolute defensively, so that's a positive. Positive number 2, they've scored a goal. Positive number 3, Man City have missed a penalty, which I think is worse than not having a penalty, because I just feel like missing a penalty will just sink your motivation like a lot more than not having one at all. Like it'll kind of make you lose hope, kind of thing. So yeah, that's really good to see. Yeah, you're right about that, Ryan. City don't look impressive. They don't. It's like, it's a weird thing. Like it looks like they're mentally not all there. And like this is a team which traditionally has been kind of mentally very strong. But their heads have just gone down as well. I don't know if you've noticed, but like since they missed the penalty, their heads have gone down. And this is why I don't think there will be a resounding success next season either. Because they spent 200 million. They spent 200 million in January. And at maximum, like I don't know with the FFP and all that nonsense, but at maximum they can perhaps only spend another 200 million again, I guess. And I appreciate Rodri will be back, but even then, this team just looked bereft of confidence. I don't understand it this season. They've been awful. Yeah, they've been awful, but it's also just been like a complete, like they've just completely sunk from a team. From a team that was flying, they just completely sunk. Like they haven't just gone from, I don't know, first to second. Like they were mid-table before they spent all that money. My conspiracy theory is that the players know more about what's happening internally within the club, about the charges and all that stuff. And so I think that's the stuff off the pitch that they know more about is affecting them on the pitch. That's my kind of presumption. City needs guidance. They've got no confidence. Yeah. I mean, as blasphemous as it could be to say, they might need a managerial change, because even Salah was saying on his interview yesterday that the Liverpool players, they kind of got comfortable with Klopp. They started feeling like they were in their comfort zone, which isn't Klopp's fault. It just happens. Like, you know how like on the first day of your job you're really into it, but like 5 years later you're like, screw it, I'll go late. It's probably a case of that. So they probably need some new voices in the... And the way Sir Alex Ferguson used to do it is, I think he used to change his assistant around. So you always used to have a different number 2. So perhaps they need to make some changes. Haaland's been missing. Someone needs to find him. Well, he has been missing ever since he signed that 50-year contract. You know, the new contract he got where he's basically getting paid like £1 million a week. Ever since he signed that, he was like, all right, I'm done now. I don't need to bother. Maybe he's just in awe. Maybe he's just in awe of the Egyptian a few miles down the road. He was making him look a bit silly. Haaland's whole thing was always goals, goals, goals. But then the Egyptian down the road, not the Egyptian next door, that's Marmoush, but the other Egyptian down the road has got more goals and also got a bunch of assists. Problem is, when the manager becomes your friend, you're going to become lazy. Yeah, I do think there's an element of that. And I think also hearing the same voice over and over and over again, it's perhaps hard to be as motivated as you want to. And to be fair, I think it's very much a human thing. But yeah, perhaps they need a change. The Red Rebellion says, I'm so close to uploading some more videos, by the way. Just a tiny bit more editing to clear copyright, then I'm done. Copyright is a killer when uploading goals. It is. What kind of video is it? Is it? I think you mentioned before, is it going to be like goals from the 92 season? Because I remember I watched your video of was it the Salah goals in 2017? And then I think you mentioned, I think that was the first time I spoke to you. And then you mentioned that you're going to do goals from 1992 onwards, and I was like, that sounds pretty good. I need to check that out. So yeah, definitely, I think everyone should check out Red Rebellion when he's uploaded that. You do loads of checks. It is a pain. It is a pain. Yeah, it is 100% a pain. Because once you upload, it does the checks, doesn't it? And it finds like any little thing, and it will copyright you. I'm a bit lucky because like I'm just talking nonsense and it's just my voice. But like in the past, when I've tried uploading things, like any little thing, and the thing is also that's annoying. Like it won't find copyright at first, but then you upload it, and then a week later it will say, yeah, we're complaining about this. It's a bit annoying. Durwood says, have you seen the fans from Arsenal crying on social media that Liverpool took a few days off and celebrated? Yeah, I saw it. I just right click and hit it. It's a guy with glasses, isn't it? Saying we should what's the word? We should not fine. We should punish Liverpool. We should subtract 20 points from Liverpool. But like my response to that is, well, when you were celebrating earlier in the season and getting draws, Liverpool were... That's a good point. You stopped it up time. I also need to get a drink, like a coffee or a fizzy drink or something. But just give me a second. I'll stop this timer. Durwood's are much better at the timer than I am. Always reminding me. There was one time it was on like 120 or something. But yeah, like my kind of pushback to the Arsenal fan was, yeah, when you were operating at 80% in November, this squad was operating at 200%, putting in triple sessions, and so this team is entitled to have a bit of time off. And also, if you're saying Liverpool have taken a few days off and celebrated, are you saying Arsenal can't beat that team? Because it was 2-2 the last I recall. And to be honest, it was only 2-2 because Liverpool couldn't be bothered in the second half. So people are just doing kind of silly things for clicks. Like these days, I don't know if I'm getting too old, but as soon as I see any nonsense, I just right click, mute, or like whatever. I'm like, I'm getting too old for that. Who is this? Who is this laughing emoji? Like, who is this person? It's always. I've always been curious. I've created this McAllister one. Twitch is a bit annoying because I wanted to put the animated ones for free, but it doesn't let me. But the good thing is the free ones, the still ones, it lets me put for free. If I had my choice, I'd make all of them free. But Twitch are greedy as hell. But yeah, hopefully at the very least, the still ones should come up as free. I was a bit bored the other day. I got slot. Gerard telling him to shush. But yeah, cause I was wondering like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Who is this guy that's laughing? So then I said, you know what? I'm gonna put a McAllister one there. Premier League goals starting from 92 season to date. Lots of goals. Nice. I'm looking forward to checking that out. Because these days, like I find it hard just to kind of watch TV. I don't know if it's a concentration thing. But goals, yeah. Let's go for it. Looking forward to that. Let us know when it's done, and we'll check that out. Stop the time. Yeah, stopped now. I wouldn't have stopped it if you hadn't reminded. 92-93 when the Premier League changed over from First Division. Okay, nice. That first season. So when it went from First Division to Premier League. Yeah, looking forward to that. I was alive then, but I was a child. I was like a couple of years old, so it'd be a nice reminder. Ryan says YouTube and TikTok kill your attention span to a certain degree. Yeah, to a certain degree, it has done. I'm still pretty good with games. Like I can play games for a while, and movies. I like watching movies. But like people at work, they always recommend like TV shows, and I'm like, I don't have the attention span for TV shows anymore. I think because TV shows are a longer commitment because it's seasons, whereas like a computer game you can play for an hour. A movie's like 1.5 hours. So yeah, they have definitely partially killed my attention span. Those are the free ones. Okay, nice. If there is a way to update, I have saved the animated one. So if there is a way to get those updated for free, I will put them on, because it's like that's the fun, right? Everyone can do the animated ones as well. But these ones are decent. I like the McAllister one. The Salah one I might change because it's just Salah looking, if you know what I mean. I think the Gerrard one's good. I might, if these are the ones that lets me upload, I might change the Salah one, and I might change the Van Dijk one, because they're just like looking, innit? It'd be good if they're doing something. Obviously not all at the same time, but earliest to latest. Yeah, no, that sounds pretty good. Look forward to it. Cool. I'm gonna get a drink. I don't know if I want a coffee or a fizzy drink, but I need to get something because I'm proper dehydrated. But yeah, 1-0. Let's see how the second half goes. Come on, you Crystal Palace. I'm just gonna grab a drink. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I was debating the merits of a cold drink or a coffee, and then I remembered it was Man City playing, so had to get a coffee. Oh, and then I went to make the coffee, and there was no coffee beans in the machines. Then I had to put the coffee beans in. But all good now. Harry says, hello, how are you? Sorry I'm late. I was just working with my dad. That's all right. That's no problem at all. All good, all good. But yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Watching the Man City game and had to get a coffee at half time. So that should tell you how it's going. But Palace are winning, which is a positive. So yeah, pretty good. How's things with you? How are you doing? That's the important question. Ooh, Man City are kicked off. I better set down. Man City gonna come out flying again. Ooh, Doku. Ooh, nicely defended. Come on, Mateta. Harry says, all right, got bodied in football, but got back up and saved a shot. Nice. So you're playing in goal again. I also studied my own kneecap going for a ball. Wow. Hope that's not too painful, not too bad. Do you play football every day then? Or is it like most days or just on certain days? Pretty good, to be fair. Good exercise either way. No, just bruised. Okay, that's good to hear. In school on weekdays and for fun on Saturdays. Sundays I rest. Okay, that's good. That's good that there's a day of rest. Sunday is the day of rest in many ways. That Lacroix guy for Palace, is he French? Because there's a bakery in Paris called Lacroix, and it's really nice. Yeah, he is French. I've not had to speak any French today, so that's a positive. Oui, bonjour. Yeah. That was me pretty much yesterday. I kept getting questions in French, and instead of saying I don't know French, like I did do French at school, like back in the day. So instead of saying I don't know French, I was trying to answer in French, and then I kept getting like replies back, which to me says the French must have vaguely made sense if he's responding back. So yeah, I took that as a positive. But yeah, I probably don't have like a French accent or anything. But what can you do? Who have Man City got on the bench? I was literally going to say, who are these losers? They got Foden on the bench. So Foden's having a pretty terrible season by the looks of it. Grealish on the bench, Gundogan on the bench. Who's Nico Gonzalez? Is he one of the guys that they spunked 200 million on? Nine matches, 0 goals, 0 assists, 3 yellow cards. That's his contribution to Man City. 9 matches. How much did they buy this chump for? £50 million? They spent 50 million quid on it. This is the thing with Man City and Pep. Everyone just waxes lyrical that, oh my god, Pep is so good. Pep is the best thing since life. But he just chucks like £50 million, £60 million on random players, and then they just sit like, you know what I mean? Most of them are not a success. And they're like, oh my god, how does Pep do it? Because he's got a bench full of superstars. We're spending £30 million on a starter who's going to play multiple positions. Whereas they're spending 50 million, 200 million on backups. They've even got Grealish on the bench. Jack Grealish, he's 100 million quid. Nunez, he was 50 million. Edison, he was quite expensive as well. Kusanov, he's another chump that they bought in January, isn't he? He's the bloke who debuted and did an own goal. Kusanov, 6 matches. And they buy these players, they spend a lot of money, and then if they don't impress, they just chuck them on the bench. You know what I mean? How much did they buy this Kusanov fella for? 40 million euros, so maybe that's 35 million quid. That's still more than Frimpong. I thought that was Tuchel, but that's a Dean Henderson wearing a cap. Red Rebellion says the City side is terrible. It is terrible. It's so bad. I'm not expecting any sort of major resurgence from these next season. I think they'll be a bit better. I think the ones we need to watch out for are those Geordies. But in Newcastle are worrying me. And the thing that concerns me the most is that Newcastle fans are quite humble about it, and they're like, no. They were like, no. We just want to win the cup, man. We just want to win the cup, We just want to win the cup next year, man. That's what they say. That's what the Newcastle fans say, and I'm like, guys, you are so much better than the cup. I am so concerned about you. I think you'll challenge for the league next year. And you're like, what are you saying, man? But yeah, that Newcastle, I think that guy's head is gigantic. What the hell is going on there in the crowd? But I'm impressed by Newcastle, man. I think Newcastle are gonna be contenders next year, even though Newcastle fans are humble about it. In a way, them being humble about it makes it more scary. They have loads of work to do in the transfer window if they want to challenge. They do, but even at this point, they spent 200 million in January, and it's of that 200 million, only really Marmoush has improved them. There must be some sort of issue. At Man United, how they keep buying players, but it doesn't seem to make things any better because internally the club's a mess because they keep firing everyone, and so it's probably hurting motivation. There must be some sort of other issue, and this was my conspiracy theory that it's that's something to do with the charges. That coffee is helping, to be fair. Derwood says Foden's got the most punchable face. He does. A punchable face and a slappable face. I don't know if it's the little ears. You know the ears that I put. Look, I'm Phil Foden now. Hello, I'm Phil Foden from Manchester. I don't know if it's because he kind of constantly kind of looks like this. or if it's the little nose. But yeah, he does have a punchable face and a slappable face. Yeah, but even then, like, what's happened? What's happened to Phil Foden this season? Even Phil Foden was a world beater last year, but seems to have completely plummeted and tanked this year. It is truly bizarre. And with 115, 130 players are skeptical about joining them. Yeah, I think that you would be concerned about joining them purely because of the uncertainty that brings. Maybe that's part of the reason why WIRTZ prefers Liverpool. It hardly inspires confidence, should we say? Lel and Leeds fan says you like Leeds United. Well, since you have a Leeds fan in your name, then I must say, then I have to say yes. What I will say about Leeds, they do hate Man United more than Liverpool do, so we'll give them that. California King 69, interesting number, says can Vinicius reach prime Neymar level or even Messi if he continues to improve? Neymar level possibly, Messi level probably no. Messi might be a once in a lifetime kind of thing. I think the only one who could potentially reach the Messi level would be Lamine Yamal, but even then, it's a tough ask. But yeah, I think he could reach the Neymar level. Vinicius is a good player. I like Vinicius. I much prefer Vinicius over Rodrigo. I'd argue also that Real Madrid perhaps need to lean on Vinicius more than they do Mbappe. Foden looks like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Yeah, his precious is the Champions League trophy, I guess. Yeah, I guess the only difference is Gollum looks slightly more human. California King 69 says Saka or Rodrigo, who would you sign for Liverpool? Me personally, I'd sign Saka. The reasons I'd sign Saka is number one, it would pee off Arsenal fans, which makes it funny, and number two, he's a right winger, and I feel like there's an abundance of there's loads of left wingers available on the market, but there aren't really very many right wingers who are left footed, other than Salah and Saka. So, I think it's more. And I appreciate Rodrigo can play on the right, but I think he's better on the left. So that would be the second thing, because he's a right winger rather than a left winger. And I think point three is his English. He's homegrown, so he'd count towards the quota. Save it, Henderson. Don't let them score. Oh, bollocks. Oh, no. That's Munoz. That's Munoz. Where's Pixel? Where's Pixel? Where is Pixel? Pixel, we need to tell Pixel immediately that Munoz has scored. Somebody get to New Jersey immediately. Two 0. Red Rebellion says, "Oh yes, Palace going to win it." I mean, it certainly looks like that. And I don't want to make excuses, but this Ortega guy looks pants. Man, that's wild, man. I'm gonna Google, when is the last time Crystal Palace won a trophy? The last time they won the old First Division, which I guess is the Championship now, was 1994. So it's been like over 30 years. What's the ref faffing about over? People are saying if we don't get WIRTZ, perhaps look at Eze. Eze is quality player. Eze is English as well, I think. Kant's homegrown. Man, is it given as offside or are they still checking it? Okay, that looks fairly that looks like very clear offside on second checking. Does that mean I need to take the score back down to 1-0? Whenever I update the score on time, I then need to put it back. It's the universe messing with me here. Yeah, unfortunate. It is what it is. It is what it is. Palace, to be fair, looking like the better team here. Hopefully they can get a legitimate goal. It's weird as well, like that Wembley is not jam packed. Like I can see empty seats, but I guess that's the Man City effect. Apparently, Frimpong has signed a 5-year contract with Liverpool. That's what we want to hear. 2030, man. Imagine that. I didn't think I'd be alive for that long. Durwood asks, what is it with English refs that when it's a clear offside takes forever, but when it's a close offside, they give it right away? Because they are idiots. That is the technical reason and the technical explanations. The referees within my country are absolutely useless. Incompetence of the highest degree, and of a medium degree, and of also the lowest degree. And it's not even just a domestic cup thing. Even when for whatever reason they are refereeing international tournaments or they're refereeing the Champions League, even then they make horrendous calls. And then all the international fans say, "Oh my God, really?" And then we're like, "Yeah, this is what we've got to put up with. We agree with you. We agree with you." So, like the Spanish fans will be like, "What? Why is he doing that?" And we're like, "Yeah, welcome to our referees, the worst in the world, most expensive league in the world with the worst officiating in the world." Red Rebellion says a PGMOL is a clan show. It is a clan show and it's a cult. It's a clan show that you're not allowed to criticize or say anything vaguely negative about, because if you do, they will fine you. So they're thoroughly incompetent at their jobs, and if you give them anything other than gross adulation, they will fine you. Incompetent organization they are. I'm curious as to as well. Is like is PGMOL is that like a? I know that's Howard Webb thing in terms of how the referees are organized and how they operate. But is it a private company or is it like part of the Premier League? It says it's a private company. Yeah, I can see their company statement. Yeah, they perhaps need to look at how this is done because they are awful. Professional Game Match Officials Limited. I didn't know it stood for that, but apparently that's what it is. Professional Game Match Officials Limited. Do they really need like such a long ass name? Can it not just be professional officials, PO, or professional referees, PR? Why does it need to be? Why does it need to have 5 letters? It just feeds into the delusions of grandeur, doesn't it? I think you hit the nail on the head there. They really shouldn't have the word professional in it. Yeah, we'll just call them GMOL from now on. Game Match Officials Limited. I'd argue they probably shouldn't even have officials in it because they're not referees. Just call them Game Match Limited. But yeah. Or IGMOL, Incompetent Game Match Officials Limited. That's probably better. Yeah, that was a good one. They don't deserve to have professional in their name. Here's someone who is professional though. Crystal Palace. Crossed in by Wharton. Volleyed. But the GOML guy at the side's got his flag up. They added limited based on the limited professional and limited ability, yeah, and limited brain capacity as well. Limited of everything that's positive. Yeah, it's all making sense now. It's all making sense why they have such a long name. It's just pointing out everything that's wrong with them. I can't believe this game is still only 1-0. I feel like there's been so many more goals. Ooh, nice defending Crystal Palace. Here's Adam Wharton. It's an Ortega bloke again. Is a dribbling when he feels like it. Crystal Palace looking a bit more adventurous now. They've got kind of 3 at the back and then 4 in front of them. So they're kind of building up in a 3-4-3, which is pretty interesting. Goes to Savinho on the right. Savinho's been another uninspiring signing. Crystal Palace are not lucky to be here. I mean, they've got a good team. I mean, tactically, they look pretty good. Imagine Crystal Palace win more than Arsenal this season. Is there an argument to say they're the biggest team in London this season? If there is, or even if there isn't, I'm still going to say it. Ooh, De Bruyne, don't do that. Yes, saved. Doku. Guardiola. Ruben Diaz. Savinho. Crystal Palace very compact here, which is what we want to see. Man City just passing it around their wings and then passing it around me. De Bruyne, ooh, good save by Adam Wharton. Yes, Adam Wharton, go down. I mean, it clearly hit your back and not your head, but yeah, let's pretend it hit your head because we need to we need we need to take the pressure out of this. Oh no, maybe that did hit his head. Never mind. Okay, that did smack him right on the head. Maybe he's not putting it on. I would rather have the FA Cup than the Europa League. So think you are right. Spurs may win it, but the level in that competition is poor. It has been poor. It has. Didn't they play Bodo Glimt or something in the last round? Yeah, I'd say especially this season. I think the Premier League, the FA Cup, even the Carabao Cup, I think they've been a higher standard than the European competition, and the proof's in the pudding. Our 16th and 17th place teams are in that Europa League final. So there's definitely been a higher standard of football in the FA Cup this year. But imagine we get a situation where Palace win the FA Cup, which is a London team. Spurs win the Europa League, which is a London team. Chelsea win the Conference League, which is a London team. And Arsenal win nothing. That would be fantastic. Ooh, I don't like the space they're giving to Silva. Oh, saved. Shot by Marmoush, but that's not Marmoush. The other bloke, left back. Is it Lewis? O'Reilly. They take it quickly. It's Doku, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva. Ah, yes. Come on, Palace. Counter. Bernardo's been booked there. It didn't look that bad a challenge on first glance. Ah, okay. Not the best tackle, should we say. Good tackle, good defending by Munoz there against O'Reilly. Okay, so Man City are bringing on Slappable Face. Slappable Face is on. And a child is also coming on. Who the hell is this guy? Is he another January recruit for 80 million quid? Etcha what? What's this? What the hell is this guy? Echeverry. Claudio Echeverry. Please hold that Palace. Red Rebellion. Yeah, I think everyone wants them to win. LARPing Tilson is saying, I've scratched myself. It itched so bad it flakes everywhere. What shall I do? I'm lost. Try having a shower. I mean, if you're itching and it's flaking everywhere, you've probably got dry skin. So I say have a shower. Use a bit of moisturizer. And if the moisturizer doesn't work, ask your doctor to give you some hydrocortisone. So hydrocortisone is a steroid, but it's a very light steroid. It's good for dry skin. It will sort you out. Thanks, doc. No problem. I know you're messing, but I kind of suffer from dry skin, so I can sometimes help. Yeah, I don't know if that is fish, I don't know if fish is registered on Twitch. What's the creation date? Account created 38 minutes ago, it says. Account is suspended. Why is account suspended? What the hell? I was enjoying giving advice on dry skin. It says account created 38 minutes ago if you click on it, Durwood. I don't know if that is actually fish. What the heck was that comment? Yeah, that's my reaction to that's my reaction to half the stuff I get. But half the time they're not expecting me to give actual good advice. I'm like, hey, if your skin's flaking, it's probably dry, so try a moisturizer. And if the moisturizer doesn't work, try getting a steroid cream from the doctor. Do you reckon it is fish? It didn't occur to me, but when you said it, I was like, let me check when this person registered. And it said that account created 38 minutes ago. But if you hover over it, it says account suspended. Why? I didn't do anything. That's a shame. Or deactivated. It says it could be deactivated. They've got Foden on the right, which is interesting. I'm not sure how effective he's gonna be there. Foden, aka Gollum, aka Slappable Face, aka Punchable Face. Ah, do you reckon? It could be. That could be why. That's a shame. I was enjoying giving advice. Somebody messaged yesterday saying, "Can I have a shawarma, please?" And I was like, "Do you want medium or a large? And do you want a chicken or a beef? Do you want salad? Do you want sauce?" You haven't really given any details regarding your order. Crystal Palace fans looking very happy. They've only got 10 minutes. Oh, Palace very high. Why are Palace so high up the pitch? Now Man City got 2 versus 3, but that worried me for a second. Oh fuck! Don't score. Okay, saved. Oh Jesus Christ! Why did Palace have like 7 players up the pitch there? What was that about? Thank God it fell to another, bang average Man City player who can't finish from 3 yards. But like Palace have been defending deep the entire game, which is fine. And suddenly they had every player up the pitch. That is a horrendous shot. That player, that Echeverri guy, is Argentine apparently. You wouldn't think it. Imagine getting into that position and shooting it straight at the goalkeeper. I mean, there's insanity and then there's that, really. Ruben Diaz has been booked. Fish says it's not. Oh, that's a surprise, isn't it? You seem to be back 5 minutes later and say, "Hey, that wasn't me." You're still suspect number 1. With respect to the identity of Larping Tilson 5415. Also, I'm fairly sure that Tilson is a type of fish, and I've googled it. And it says Tilson fish is a variety of fish that is found in the town of Tilson in Canada. Ooh, De Bruyne has been booked. Ooh, there's Frimpong news. So David Ornstein is saying Jeremy Frimpong poised to undergo medical ahead of completing proposed move from Leverkusen to Liverpool. The 24-year-old Netherlands international right back has agreed a 5-year deal. I mean, that's pretty much as long term as you can get, unless you do Chelsea funny business. But we're not interested in Chelsea funny business. Liverpool will activate €35 million release clause, which is probably about 30 million quid. Yeah, they're all bloody reporting it now. Ooh, Palace trying to get a second goal there. Wharton's gone down again. I don't know how much of this is strategic or genuine. Get up, Wharton. Okay, he's up now because he saw the ball coming in his direction. Oh, who's this? It's Munoz. Oh, Munoz goes for a shot and somehow hits it out for a corner. Or for a throw-in, sorry, which is... I thought that was going in, but somehow it went so far out, it went for a throw-in. Bizarre. Well, safe to say Gollum hasn't done much. Adam Wharton's coming off. He's looked alright. He's looked fine. He hasn't looked like a absolute world beater that some people hype him up to be. But he's been fine. Would I take him over Gravenberch? Nope. I saw that online the other day. Somebody was saying, yeah, sell Gravenberch and get Wharton. I was like, what is this nonsense? Palace fans celebrating. Ooh, Gundogan's going on, because that's exactly what you need at this point. Intercepted by Kamada. Can Palace get a second? If Palace get a second... Ooh, they're through here. Oh, he's offside. What is this referee's obsession? This GOML's obsession with putting his damn flag up. I mean, a lot of these calls look borderline at best. Here's Akanji. Ruben Diaz. I mean, Doku's dribbling, but he's kind of dribbling to nowhere. De Bruyne, Diaz. I'm curious to see how much injury time there's going to be here. I wouldn't anticipate a ton, but you never know. Don't score. What's Haaland done this entire game? I forgot Haaland was bloody playing. 10 minutes? Where the F are they pulling 10 minutes out from? What? What? What the F is going on? Where are you getting 10 minutes from? Exactly. Like, what? What? How? Where? Or is this nonsense? 10 minutes. I'm clueless. I was genuinely expecting like 2 minutes. 2, maybe 3 max. 10? Nah. This is corruption at its finest, I think. That is shocking. I've literally never seen 10 minutes in my life. I don't even recall any extensive stoppage. I appreciate there was the penalty, but that wasn't like 10 minutes. That is a joke and a half. Doku goes down diving. The referee says no penalty. I'd like to see the official explanation for 10 minutes. Because that is utter nonsense. You usually only get that when there's been serious injury or something. De Bruyne hits it wide. That's ridiculous. I don't want to lean into any conspiracy theories, but that is odd. Well, it's a good thing I made this coffee at halftime. People were joking that they were going to add 7 minutes. And they've ended up adding 10. Fish says, how Gornick? Are you referring to Gornick Zabs again? It's 2-0. It says suspended. Why does it say suspended? Yeah, the match has been suspended for some reason. Your Gornick game. City get the ball back. De Bruyne, Akanji, he's going to probably pass it to Gollum on the right wing. He does pass it to Gollum on the right wing. Gollum's going to pass it back because that's what Gollum does. Now it's gone back to Diaz. Doku. Goes to Gundogan. This feels like the type of game where they'll find an excuse to add added time onto the added time. Cleared by Palace. Goes to Doku again. Fish, what happened to your Twitch account? how did you manage to get banned in like 28 minutes? Are you going to create another one? Three more minutes. Offside. Palace holding on. They're showing Man City kids crying in the crowd. That seems to be a customary thing that they do these days. Sonny says, "Hey, I'm back. It looks like it's Crystal Knights." Yeah, they've only got about a minute to hold on. Then we should be good. Okay, Doku hits it wide there. Hopefully that's the end of it. If the keeper can take their if the keeper can take their time with this. Crystal Palace fans crying. I'm happy for them. Is that it? Are we done? Are we done? Mine's still going, but I'll take your guys' word for it. It's finished. Yeah, it's over now. It's game over. Walden Palace, yeah. They tried to cheat Crystal Palace out of it with 10 minutes of injury time, but yeah, I'm happy for them. They we googled it. They haven't won a trophy for about 30 years, and that was promotion from the old first division. So yeah, good for them. I'm sure Pixel will be happy that Munoz is lifting a trophy. So everyone's happy, I think. Did Man City win anything this season, or are they just a glorified Arsenal? They're just a glorified Arsenal. They have not won anything this season, as far as I'm aware. I don't. Oh, did they win the? No, they didn't win the Carabao Cup. That was Newcastle. Eze the goat loves mac and cheese. I don't know if he does, but I'll take your word for it. What a game! Yeah, what a game! A very good game, especially after the Man United Chelsea one we had to sit through yesterday. I'm so happy for Crystal Palace. I'm so happy for kind of Crystal Palace that they've won this. It's even better that they beat City. It is. It's good to see. It's good to see City not get anything out of this. I believe that's another trophyless season for Man City. Proper team wins it in Crystal Palace. The right team won. The right team won. Man City were attacking, but a lot of their attacks kind of came to nothing. A lot of the attacks felt a bit toothless, a bit fruitless. Palace's tactics were very good. They defended deep, scored on the counter. And I think, as we were kind of saying the other day, it's kind of nice when a different team wins it. It becomes a bit boring if it's Man City every single year. So yeah, I'm happy for the Ezes of this world, the Whartons of this world, the Munozes of this world. So just the two, London and United, have a chance at silverware this season. Well, yeah, you've got Liverpool Premier League, which is North. Newcastle Carabao Cup, which is North. Crystal Palace South. So yeah, it will be either Spurs or United for the Europa League, and then probably Chelsea for the Conference League. So we could have a situation where Crystal Palace win the FA Cup, which they have done. Tottenham win the Europa League, which they might do. And Chelsea win the Conference League, which they probably will do. So you could have a situation where 3 London clubs finish with a trophy and Arsenal do not. I was thinking about that. Kind of towards the end. Haaland did absolutely. I forgot he was playing, and I know sometimes people say that as a joke. Ha ha ha! Forgot Haaland was there, but I genuinely forgot he was playing. Until in the 80th minute, I just saw him on the screen. He didn't do anything. I just saw him on the screen. I was like, oh yeah, Haaland's playing. But yeah, completely ghosted. De Bruyne was at least trying. He was on the ball a lot, trying some passes, but generally forgot Haaland was there. Crystal Palace won. I'm watching game and eating mac and cheese chocolate cake. Well, that's a very nutritious meal you're having there. You're getting carbohydrates from the pasta. You're getting a bit of protein from the cheese. You're getting a bit of sugar from the cake. Can't really complain there. I'm happy Turner gets a trophy. It's always good when the quote unquote real clubs win something. And this will be a big deal for them, and kind of rightfully so. The FA Cup, it's a significant achievement, I think, especially for a Crystal Palace. I don't mean that in a bad way. Where are Crystal Palace in the league? Palace are 12th. So that's an achievement for them. If Tottenham and Kane won that would be a spear through Arsenal's heart. Well, Kane is at Bayern Munich now, and Kane has won the league with Bayern Munich. So Harry Kane already has a trophy this season. But yeah, if the remainder of Spurs wins a trophy, wins the Europa League, I don't think Arsenal fans will be particularly happy about that. But yeah, it is what it is. Good game, enjoyable game. Much better than yesterday's game. In terms of the next one then, I probably won't have much time tomorrow, but I'll be back on Monday to do the Liverpool game. It's nice to see Liverpool again. Liverpool versus Brighton away. So it'll be interesting to see the reception that kind of Trent gets there. Yeah, that should be it. So yeah, hopefully see some of you guys on Monday. Brighton versus Liverpool. I think it's on at like 8 o'clock. But yeah, cool, nice one. Well, take care, guys. Thanks for your comments as always. And yeah, as Red Rebellion says, cheers everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care, guys. Cheers.